Good afternoon and good morning here in the United States. Along with Jamie Scher, my co-counsel, I'd like to welcome you to today's press conference. I am the lead attorney representing thousands of customers of the Himalaya Exchange. I'm an ex-Department of Justice prosecutor for more than 20 years. And sadly, since I've left the Department of Justice, I've had to focus a large share of my professional life around protecting civil rights, protecting constitutional rights, most notably the First and Fourth Amendment protections that are afforded us in the U.S. Constitution. And I want to thank the Wolfpack widows at formerfeds.org, chbmp.org, and formerfedsgroup.org. Anyone who's a customer of the exchange who wants more information can go to HimalayaRestoration.com. This legal action that we filed last night addresses the seizure of funds from the Himalaya Exchange. We stand here today to not only seek justice for the financial damages incurred, but also to defend the fundamental rights and dignity of those affected. Recently, governments around the world seem to be acting in concert to stomp on human rights. And this case we bring forward today challenges the very principles of justice and liberty that our legal system is built upon. Given the global span of this press conference, and to accommodate our media representatives and plaintiffs from various places around the globe, we have prepared a detailed, pre-recorded presentation. This format ensures that everyone, regardless of their location and local time, receives the same information. I would like to encourage journalists and guests to submit their questions throughout the presentations. Feel free to use the Q&A feature for this purpose. I'm going to make a pre-recorded statement, and then I think we have 5 statements from my clients, 5 customers who have courageously stepped forward. Alternatively, or if you prefer, you can wait until we have a Q&A session at the end, at the conclusion, and you can ask me questions live then. With that, we're going to switch over to the presentation we filmed earlier. Thank you very much for your attention. Esteemed members of the media and human rights advocates, welcome. Thank you for being here today. On behalf of my clients, we want to tell you about a case that we filed earlier today in the Southern District of New York involving United States v. Kwok, which is actually a criminal matter. Today we filed for a return of funds on behalf of thousands of customers of the Himalaya Exchange. We address a profound injustice and a matter of profound importance, I would argue, to all of us. Aggressive seizures of funds by totally innocent parties by the United States government. Even when funds are legitimately sourced, even when funds are provided by law-abiding investors from outside the United States, even when the exchange is designed to promote freedom and financial liberty, even when the process is designed and overseen by top compliance experts and top legal experts from around the world, and deposits are made by non-Americans cleared through the strictest compliance programs, they are not immune from heavy-handed U.S. government forfeiture action. The Himalaya Exchange is a crypto trading platform that is very popular with the global expat Chinese community. Noted for its staunch commitment to independence and ironclad data privacy, offering a critical alternative, a financial economic freedom alternative to thousands of people who are subjected to life under oppressive governments who stamp out the notions of freedom of speech and the right to self-determination. In this presentation, you will hear me refer to the following. The trading platform itself is made up of a stablecoin, Himalaya dollar, which is pegged to the US dollar 1-to-1, and a trading coin known as Himalaya coin. Why is the Himalaya Exchange important, and why should we care as Americans? The exchange is important because outside the United States, economic freedom is greatly diminished and is not a right afforded to everyone. Certain governments confiscate wealth or prevent wealth transfers in order to restrict, control, intimidate, threaten, or even persecute individuals or groups. The community I represent includes a diverse range of individuals, including business owners, educators, healthcare workers, students, and employees of many corporations. All of them share a common aspiration to lead lives marked by dignity and financial liberty. They too aspire for the American dream. Even though none are U.S. residents, they want a piece of the American pie. Often, in these nations outside the USA, with closed financial systems, citizens find it nearly impossible to spend money outside the closed systems that are arrayed around the world. And increasingly, governments are imposing severe restrictions on what funds can be used for. We're relatively lucky here in the United States, where the Supreme Court in 1976, under Buckley v. Vallejo, held that spending money is tantamount to speech and is actually protected speech under the First Amendment. If you live outside the United States, there's a different attitude, and you're just not that lucky. What triggered the United States government seizures? An accusation that within the ambit or influence of the Himalaya Exchange, crimes were committed by the charged defendants. My clients make no direct comments in relation to those defendants' defenses. They're capably represented by defense counsel. But I want you to know that they are here independently to tell you their truth. And that is, please listen carefully, my clients were in no way defrauded by the Himalaya Exchange, and they never suffered any financial loss as a result of being associated with the financial exchange. It is, in fact, the U.S. Department of Justice action which has put their investments and assets at risk. And they want restoration of their money and full compensation for the devaluation of their assets caused as a result of the Department of Justice actions. Moreover, my clients maintain that none of the defendants, as far as they know, exert any influence over their exchange investments or over their accounts. As far as I'm aware, the Department of Justice has never attempted to reach any of my clients. The Department of Justice has not asked if my clients were defrauded or if they experienced any losses as a result of any of the alleged fraudulent schemes or representations by or on behalf of the Himalaya Exchange. Had the DOJ conducted a proper and fair investigation, you would expect some investigation into the who of who DOJ says are actual victims of this alleged fraud. There's been no such investigation, nor has there been any notification to my thousands of clients that their money has been seized. They're not victims of the exchange, but victims as a result of DOJ's radical forfeiture policy, which has caused them significant harm and losses. Further, if the Department of Justice did not know the details of the customers, who they were, and were unable to contact them because they didn't know who they were, how is it that they are alleging they've all been defrauded without actually confirming that with Himalaya Exchange customers? A few alleged customers suggesting this notion is simply not enough. We believe there's clear evidence that they're suspicious actors acting at the behest of foreign governments, but certainly their motives are questionable in light of the overwhelming evidence regarding the propriety and the professionalism that the exchange was run. That's directly reported to me by my clients. I filed earlier today what is known as a 41G motion under the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. It seeks to recover all my client's property. Further legal actions will be considered in due course in relation to the substantial devaluation and loss of assets damages claims. The devaluation loss right now for those thousands of victims of their HCN value is over $136 million, resulting in a staggering depreciation of my client's assets. At the date of seizure, the value of one HCN was $24 in HDO, the equivalent of $24. As a result of the seizures and later the indictment, the HCN coin has plummeted and has been fluctuating around $14 HDO USD per coin recently. This doesn't account for other customers or any customers' stablecoin HDO holdings or reserve losses as a result of the seizure. That's separate, and it's immense. These total losses are catastrophic. This is as a direct result of the Department of Justice action. Can you imagine the impact on my clients? These individuals who are not U.S. residents and who are living beyond the borders of the United States, many of whom are not native English speakers, have expressed bewilderment and actual fear regarding U.S. government actions, and in many cases, fear of adverse repercussions from their government, including persecution, threats, and serious human rights breaches. A significant portion of my clients have experienced unjustified controls and restrictions on their financial freedom from their own government. Financial freedom, which we here in the USA would see as normal, is actually a novelty for others and is not a lifeline, but their only way of securing their financial future free from opposition and unwarranted control. Therefore, we have proposed to the court a process that safeguards their personal information. The exchange, which has stringent Know Your Customer compliance procedures, does not onboard U.S. residents and is not a U.S.-based company. It is therefore my understanding that the Himalaya Exchange is fully compliant with all United States laws. My clients, moreover, lack any personal connection to the defendants, but some do share a common ideology with the defendants. They both love freedom, they all love basic human rights, and things that tend to perpetuate and protect liberty. I feel the same way. Many Americans feel the same way. We all share that. We all share a love of ice cream. We all share a love of McDonald's hamburgers. But that doesn't mean that we're in cahoots or that we're engaged in some kind of money laundering conspiracy. Many of we Americans and many customers of the exchange share the views of the defendants of the importance of economic freedom and liberty. This is their right to believe that. It's not a trait that justifies suspicion, denouncement, or retaliation. In the countries where some of my clients live, the majority face life under oppressive, authoritarian governance, with restrictions on how they can use their hard-earned money, denying them the liberty to invest their funds in life-enhancing ventures like starting businesses, furthering an education, paying for a grandson's medical expenses, or maybe securing a comfortable retirement. The people caught in this legal struggle do not have the protection of U.S. citizenship and are too at risk to seek help from Chinese authorities. They're being squeezed by a system that puts more value on their possessions than on their human rights. What distinguishes this case from the ordinary is the disturbing context of the fund's seizure. In typical fraud cases, I would expect to see lines of customers filing lines of complaints against a company or some individual who's involved in fraudulent activities, as recently witnessed in the FTX case. But here, in this case, It's crucial to note that not only has the Himalaya Exchange not been indicted, but every cent of customer funds was meticulously accounted for and independently audited, showing that up until the day of seizure, customer funds were maintained in reserve at a full 100%. The action undertaken by the United States Department of Justice in seizing $300 million of reserve funds further substantiates the comprehensive protection of customer assets. 100% of the assets were there, available for seizure. This is not a situation where the U.S. government steps in, overseeing a shadowy figure in the drug trade or perhaps a human trafficking organization. These are well-counseled professionals who manage the exchange based on the top advice and counsel from experts all over the world. Here, 100% of the funds were maintained as part of a one-to-one reserve exchange policy in fully licensed and protected bank accounts. The funds weren't going anywhere. That's how the government could seize them. This is in stark contrast to other cryptocurrency exchanges that have been in the headlines of late for their reckless and negligent handling of customer funds. In this case, it is in fact the measures taken by the Department of Justice itself that have caused significant financial and psychological distress to my clients. The evidence suggests that the Himalaya Exchange has been conducting its operations with a level of diligence and compliance that sets a standard for the industry. In sum, I'm sorry to say that the Department of Justice's overreach in this case displays distinctly predatory behavior in targeting a vulnerable group that the DOJ seems to be exercising its power over in a way that verges, or at least suggests, is government-sanctioned theft. I don't know how else to put it. Now, regarding suspicious actors that I hinted about before, my clients have seen firsthand extensive state-sponsored interference on multiple social media platforms where there are large volumes of false social media posts against the exchange, mostly in the Chinese language. These allege fraud and other ridiculous negative comments, false complaints to regulators, and they encourage others to make similar complaints with constant tagging of U.S. enforcement agencies. I suspect this may be one of the reasons why we find ourselves here, that these were taken as credible by the United States government. That was a mistake. This was part of a government-sanctioned effort by a foreign government that was seeking to adversely impact customers of the exchange. They don't like the exchange, and they don't like the views of many people who are on the exchange. This state-sponsored effort, we believe, started before the launch of the exchange even, before cryptocurrency was even issued. And it seems as if, at least in part, it's being motivated by an effort to sabotage the exchange for whatever their purposes are, but it certainly has no relationship to any interest the United States has. And it is believed that these state-sponsored individuals are also posing as genuine customers, which they're not. And I don't represent that class of suspicious actor. They have their own agendas, they have their own suspicious behavior, and they have their own motives. I'll leave it at that. But I think the U.S. government would be well served to look at this skeptically, certainly when it's compared to the willing testimony, really, of thousands of actual bona fide Himalaya Exchange customers. Perhaps more perplexingly, And this is disturbing to me as an American that this could ever even be suggested or hinted at or believed by anybody outside our beautiful United States. But it does seem as if the U.S. government, for whatever reason, is giving the appearance that it's pursuing a policy that is supported by the CCP. This is very strange as an American. I can recall prior ages where the U.S. government would actually financially support pro-freedom and pro-democracy and pro-liberty movements. So this is, at least on its face, a little bit of a change of strategy here. But I can tell you that in speaking with my clients, there's a firm belief and a great fear that the U.S. government is somehow interacting or providing information to the Chinese government. And I've assured them that I can't imagine that that would be the case, but I'm letting you know that concern is out there and it's real. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your continued attention. Before we embarked on this legal journey, various Himalaya Exchange customers offered to share their experiences. They wanted to pitch in to help educate people in the United States, also that include the enforcers, include the civil servants, who they are and what they're about. These individuals, who are all outside of China, be under no illusion, remain under great risk. CCP targets ethnic Chinese all over the world. The U.S. Department of Justice even has a term of art for it. They're familiar with this: transnational repression. This repression crosses borders outside of China, and it's very real. So I would like to commend these customers who you're going to hear from now.
Hello, everyone. My name is James. I'm from Finland. I have been a trader and investor of Himalaya Exchange since 2021. Since that time, as a user, I have had no concern and have complete trust in their digital coins. And I was fortunate to invest early when the Himalaya coin launched, priced between $7 and $33. I had deposited all my cash to Himalaya Exchange and invested in Himalaya coin. I used to withdraw regularly from my holdings to cover my living costs. My trust to Himalaya Exchange as a dependable cryptocurrency exchange has always been strong. However, since the Department of Justice made the allegations in the indictment and seized the customers' money, the growth of Himalaya coin's market value was significantly affected, and the redemption service were entirely suspended because of the DOJ took the money. This situation has caused me serious financial pain. As a student starting to be a commercial pilot and a father of 3, this has been heartbreaking, since I can no longer withdraw any funds, impacting my education and delaying my career progression. Meanwhile, my youngest son was born in May 2023. My wife has been taking care of our 3 sons without working since March 2023. You can imagine what life is like for a family of 5 without any income. We still need to pay the housing loan every month. Since 2022, I have started borrowing money from my relatives. And my current plan is to prepare to sell my house in order to continue to support my family. I stand ready to testify that I have never been deceived or defrauded by Himalaya Exchange. and I demand that the DOJ give back the money it has taken. If required, I'm willing to provide any additional information regarding my experience with Himalaya Exchange. Thank you for your time.
Hello, my name is Susan from Germany. I'm an investor of Himalaya Exchange, and I was confident that Himalaya coin would have a good return and a good future. I still believe this to be the case. Nothing has changed this apart from the DOJ action. I started investing in Himalaya coin in 2021. The price of each coin was $0.1 and rose to about $40 within 1 year. And my investment had a good return. After that, I increased my investment and I look forward to a bright future. However, since September 2022, my account cannot be credited and I cannot make withdrawal because the DOJ has frozen all the customer funds. I was able to do both before the seizure. This has had a great impact to my life. My asset has lost a substantial amount of value as a direct result of DOJ's action. Trading has been a problem, and the price dropped from about $45 to $10 since the DOJ frozen my funds. I hope with this lawsuit, the money taken by the DOJ will be given back so that the Himalaya Exchange can trade as normal. Also, I request that compensation for the loss caused by the DOJ. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Geert. I'm an investor with Himalaya Exchange, and after receiving them online, I was confident that Himalaya was a good investment due to strong vision and strategic plan for growth. I began investing in 2021 when H-coin was around $10 and saw that it rose to $40 within a year. I wanted to invest more in this growing startup. As a user of the exchange, I did not experience any issues until the DOJ or Department of Justice froze customers' funds, which of course has had a big impact on my Himalaya Exchange account. Furthermore, all these unexplained actions to what I see is a legally registered and compliant company have resulted in financial loss to myself and wasted time and severe personal stress. It is time that the questionable actions to be clarified in the lawsuit and Himalaya Exchange can be returned to normal business, and all the damage caused by these reckless actions will be compensated. Looking forward to a fast and positive solution, and thanks for your attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Sarah and I live outside of China. I'm an honored client of Himalaya Exchange. Since I opened my account in 2021, I was able to buy and sell H-coins, as well as deposit and withdraw funds freely until 2022 October. After I made a £8,000 deposit, I noted that the money had left my bank account, but it never reached my Himalaya Exchange wallet. Then I learned that the wallet was seized by the DOJ, the Department of Justice of the USA. It's not surprising that the DOJ has received malicious accusations about the Himalaya Exchange platform simply because the platform is widely used by people like myself who have had enough of the CCP totalitarian regime and are campaigning for taking down the CCP. The closure of the Himalaya Exchange account involves political persecution that must be stopped. Imagine if we were not opponents of the CCP, the platform would be still running. The Himalaya Exchange KYC, short for Knowing Your Customers, is so strict that many people have failed. When I made a large amount of deposit, I had to explain the origin of the money to their satisfaction. My capital was safe and secure with the Himalaya Exchange, and it has earned my trust. My seized wallet by the DOJ, however, has resulted in financial difficulties for my family, as I was expected to make withdrawals when I needed to. The seized wallet had forced me to sell a small property that was generating rent for me in order to cope with raised financial living costs. For the aforementioned reasons, I condemn the DOJ's unfair interference and the forced wallet closure. I demand the account to be defreezed and claim compensation towards my financial loss and emotional stress caused by the DOJ's actions. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Chris. Dear sir, I'm a customer and investor in Himalaya Exchange. I'm currently a student and a passionate trader, which led me to discover Himalaya Exchange in 2021. I believe they show strong fundamentals and a vision that I knew would be popular with many people. I invested in Edgecoin when it was priced at around $8 each, and it later increased to over $45 each, resulting in a substantial profit for me. I'm very satisfied with the product and service that Himalaya Exchange has provided. Their system operates smoothly and is user-friendly. I have great confidence in the future of this company. However, I was shocked by the recent freezing of their bank account. These unreasonable actions have seriously impacted my investment. I'm unable to invest and cannot cash out my profits. I was heavily relying on this fund to support my education. Typically, regulatory bodies like the SEC and DOJ freeze a bank account after conducting a thorough investigations. But I do not know why I wasn't even informed. If they had contacted myself or any other customers, we could have provided accurate information to help prevent these actions. Myself and others have suffered substantial losses, and I'm confident that once this matter is investigated, that our funds will be released. And compensation for these actions is due. We urgently need a solution to these situations. Sincerely. Thank you.